Alright, this is FSD version 12.5. This is just a regular drive to meet up with one of my clients. I'm going to fast forward through any of the boring parts, kind of anything that doesn't really need discussion or worth looking at. This is all just kind of average driving right now. Now coming up here, I need to turn right and there's quite a bit of traffic, so I was curious if I was going to find a spot. No issues at all. Turns on the blinker, moves over. And then coming up right here, this is a move that I might have waited on, but the car nails it. There's a tiny gap here. You can see I get very close on the back right tire there, but it does it. And then coming up here is a tough one. You can see people as they're making the turn. I should have that right lane all to myself, but some people kind of come into both lanes like this car just did. So I usually do wait until everybody's done clearing the intersection on my left. There's a big truck here, and then after that it's clear to go, so the car waits and then proceeds. It does so even with another car coming in the other lane. That's just me touching the steering wheel to answer a phone call. I wasn't initiating that turn or anything. And then coming up here, I'll slow it down again because we come up to a flashing green light, which has been a problem for FSD in the past. Here, I maintain a perfect speed, don't slow down at all, so that was great to see. Flashing green light really didn't struggle at all. Now this one's tough. My camera is a bad setup, so it's gonna kind of fall forward in a very dramatic fashion here, but there's a fire truck that's coming up to the left. Everyone slams on their brakes. I didn't need to disengage. The only reason I did is I just wanted to move a little bit closer to this car because I was worried about the vehicle behind me not stopping in time. So FSD did everything right there. This was more just me being overly cautious and not wanting to get rear-ended. There's the fire truck clearing the intersection. And I'm just readjusting the camera. I need to find a better mount. What I have right now, it works, but if you have to slam on the brakes, it will tip forward. So this is another flashing green light, and you can see I actually do slow down for this one. I'm not sure if it's because the car in front of me slowed down, but I definitely slowed down more than I would have personally. Not terrible. Construction coming up here, so I'm going to have to move over into the right lane. Then you can see the car doesn't even try to move over until the cones stop. Like, even though our left turn is coming up right away here, it waited right until those cones ended. Moves over into the far left lane. And now we're kind of waiting. Traffic gets backed up here, so you're going to see this van's going to get a go, even though there's vehicles waiting, because people will kind of like wave him through. So he'll get waved through here, and then the car kind of wants to follow him, but the other vehicle starts to move, so the car will stop. So you can see it wants to go, and he moves instead. So we stop, we wait. And this part's great. This truck actually stops, waves us through, and without hesitation, the car goes ahead and pulls right through. Felt very human-like with that. The stops in 12.5 feel a lot better. I do wish that it didn't need to come to a complete stop, but I understand it's legally what's required. But even still, feels great with the full stop. Coming into the community here, there's a few speed bumps. So it is a little hard on the actual brakes. Doesn't use regenerative braking, uses the actual brakes for that one. This one's a little bit better. Still uses some of the real brakes, but was a bit smoother to go over for sure. And then this next speed bump is right after we turn left, and it doesn't slow down for it, but I also don't think it was going fast enough that it needed to slow down. Keep in mind these are all kilometers that you see, so we're only going 20 kilometers an hour, not miles. Super smooth though. Everything about this version just feels human-like. Like if I was sitting in the back, I wouldn't have questioned any of this so far. And then coming up here, we're going to come around the corner. Our destination's on the right, but the whole street is no parking. So I'm not sure what FSD should do here in the future. I guess it would have to like go around the block to find a spot to park. I just took over after this, so I end the video, but does a great job. Got me here. Zero interventions other than me intervening because of the fire truck. So great drive overall.